Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Eryk Anders. We're on the Kickin with Your Boy podcast, and our guest today is a UFC fighter, heavyweight Walt Harris, the big ticket.
What's good?
Birmingham's own. We're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. Walt, for those of you who don't know, Walt is really my first experience with MMA. I dabbled with jiu-jitsu, and through somebody else, I met Walt, and he told me come to the gym, and a different gym than we train at now, but literally the guy came up, the head coach was like, can you fight? You know, your boy's the 5th or 6th, children, grew up fighting, so I was like, yeah, I can fight. So, okay, cool. Get in there with him. And I had to make sure, I was like, him? Like, him? He's like, yeah, all right, cool. So, long story short, I spent the better part of 5 minutes of a 5-minute round with my hands over my head in the corner. You know, he was very nice about it. He could have went a lot worse for me, but yeah, he's the reason I got into MMA, to be honest. So, Walt's got a big fight coming up tomorrow, fighting Sergey Spivak.
Yeah.
9-0, UFC newcomer. Now I know for you, you know, you were supposed to fight Alexei Oleinik. They gave him the call to fight Overeem, and then you got the call for the new guy. So, you know, how has your mindset changed from preparing for the number 9 guy to a newcomer?
I mean, it's pretty much the same. I train for everybody like they're the champ. So, you know, I was discouraged more or less because it was my opportunity, you know, to break the top 10. But as far as my mental preparation and physical preparation, I think it kind of stayed the same. You know, just go in there, do me, and make sure I'm pushing myself every day in camp.
Yeah, that's good. You know, he's 9-0, but, you know, I've seen his fight, seen his highlights and stuff, and, you know, he hasn't come across an athlete such as yourself. And, you know, it's probably the rest of the middleweight or the heavyweight division can probably say the same thing. So, now I think he'll definitely have the athletic advantage, speed, power. You know, he seems to be more of a brawler. So, you know, how do you go from, you know, Alexei Oleinik, you know, he seemed desperate to get the takedown against Overeem. I have to believe that'd be his same game plan against you. This guy seems to be more of like a stand-up brawler, which I think, you know, fits, you know, suits you even better because
sure.
He's wide. So I see you throwing you straight punches and catching them down the pipe, and you know, hopefully collecting a 50G bonus.
Man, I need one, bro.
Yeah,
I need one of those bad.
Times is tough. I know.
I need one.
In recent news with you, man, you had the USADA suspension. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so basically what happened was VADA in California, they found something in my sample. I passed all my USADA tests leading up into the fight. So I guess USADA basically just kind of piggybacked off of them because they had to make a move, you know what I mean? Like, and they just said, okay, we agree with that suspension, and they kind of made an announcement about it. We got to take the supplement. Basically, that's what it was. So, you know, the supplement manufacturer never put on the label what was actually in the supplement. So we taking legal action to, you know, clear my name, justify, you know, what happened. Not trying to justify what happened because, you know, I did ingest it, but at the same time, I was sold something with the intentions of taking something else. Yeah. So, like I said, I served a 4-month suspension, which was active from the day I got done fighting Orlovsky. And then I got off suspension right in time for this fight. So, you know, I'm here now. We're moving forward.
Now, do you think the tests are too, like, sensitive? Because there's, like, a whole slew of fighters who have had the same, like, tainted supplement. Sean O'Malley, to name one of them. I believe Yo Romero had the same thing and did the same thing, took legal action against the supplement company. So, is it the supplement company or is it the scent? Because for me, you know, I want the thing as sensitive as possible because I've never done anything, and so I want it to be a level playing field. Exactly. But at the same time, you know, something like that righteously ain't your fault.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I talked to Jeff about in Atlanta at the last big card. You know, he's saying that, you know, these tests are so sensitive that, you know, guys are failing for stuff as simple as CBD oils, and we were told that they could use those. So, you know, I just think that it needs to be, like you said, level across the board. There need to be wiggle room for guys like myself who've never failed a test. I've taken over 20 tests in the UFC and never failed one. I think those guys need to be looked at a little bit differently than the guys who were taking hard, injectable things. Hate to throw TJ under the bus, but like a TJ Dillashaw situation, like that's a you're doing wrong situation. So those guys I think need to be dealt with in quarantine as opposed to guys who are first time offenders. I think that and it also needs to be a situation to where the knowledge about the supplements are easier for us to gain access to. I think right now it's a lot of gray areas, and I think it's a lot for a guy to actually be training in camp, to be trying to focus on a fight, and then have to go study what he's taking. You know what I mean? These terms, a lot of these guys don't have a clue what they are. So I think if they had a database that was just uploadable, boom, you put in a name and it says don't, then that would make it a lot easier for guys. And I think Jeff and them are working toward that. I want to shout them out too. Donna Marcolini and Jeff Nowitzki for, having my back, for standing in the gap with me. They were with me every step of the way. They called me every day, emailed me. They made sure we followed the protocol to get my name clear. So I want to thank them for that,
Now, you said VADA. What's the difference between VADA and USADA?
So from my understanding, VADA is an independent company that California hired to administer the test in California. I guess they use VADA for a lot of boxing matches and things like that, so they used it for the UFC as well, and that's what the test, it kind of.
See, I also think that they should, if they're going to use USADA, use USADA. Don't call this company or that company.
Exactly.
So that way you get the same test,
Exactly.
Every time. Now, Birmingham native, lived there, trained there. You've recently, you used to go down and train American Top Team.
Mm-hmm.
You used to train at Champions, which is a local gym in there. So what made you kind of, I know why you left Champions, but you don't got to explain that to me. And anybody who lives in Birmingham knows what's up. But what made you make the change from training at a big powerhouse gym like American Top Team, bringing it back home, doing your camp at Spartan, and living your life and doing everything there?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of an easy situation. Like I got to, like a big brother situation with you. I got to sit back and watch your career develop. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, like Eryk doing everything right. He's making all the right choices, and I felt like I was chasing something that I could be getting at home, but that other situation was kind of slowing me down. So I just had to pull the trigger on it. And with your help, with Coach Chris' help, me and him been down for years. So he always was in, hey, go ahead and do what you gotta do. And it was on me more or less to just get man up and be like, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. Yeah, I'm out. And then another thing that kind of spurned it was when I was at Top Team, every heavyweight in the UFC was coming to Top Team. So I was looking around the match like, man, I'm gonna be fighting you, be fighting you, be fighting you. And it just got real weird in that gym. So I was like, man, I need to take my camp back home where I can get some individual attention and I can kind of focus on me. You know what I mean? I felt like I was kind of lost in the shuffle a little bit down there. I had my crew, I had guys that I worked with, but at the same time, it was just like, it was a lot of favors being played. So I just said, you know what? I'm going home and I'm gonna trust, that God got me doing what I need to do. And here I am.
I think that people sleep on Birmingham a little bit because, we do have high level athletes, Seth Garvin, I'm pretty sure the reason why he never wrestled in the Olympics is because Jordan Burroughs is in his, is in his weight class. So what are you gonna do? Master Chaw used to be up there. Chris Conley been in the game for a really long time. Lots of college wrestlers coming out of there. So you can get a lot of work in Birmingham, and man, it's kind of expensive to traveling. You got to pay for room and board, and you got to eat out and do all that other stuff. So
it took its toll for sure. Going out,
you got to be away from the fam and whatnot. So, man, we're definitely glad to have you back in Birmingham, back at Spartan. And man, I honestly think that you're gonna go out there, do what you do, put this guy to sleep, collect that extra check. And let me tell you, man, there's nothing better when that third check hit.
I already know, bro. Hey, I'm trying to get like you, dog. You the bonus. I said, man, my brother out here snapping, dog. This dude, hey. So I'm not, like I say, I don't ever look for the knockout, but if it comes, it comes. You know what I mean? I'm prepared to go all 3 rounds. I'm prepared to go wherever the fight may go. But of course, your boy want that knockout. Dog.
Yeah,
I'm trying to put the lights on and come on back to the crib and get back in the lab, man.
Yeah, I know, man. You're more than ready, man. I've seen your work, seen your progression, especially in the grappling department. So, man, I'm excited to see you out there, go out there, put it on the line, and man, party tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You already know.
Big thank you to Chevron. Thank you to our sponsors, Rev Gear and Infinite CBD. For all your CBD needs, visit infinitecbd.com and use the promo code Anders10 at checkout for big savings.